Welcome to ZoomInData. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining our Azure Logic Apps series. In this session, titled Advanced B2BEDI, RosettaNet, Swift, Flat Files and Custom Protocols, we will cover Beyond Basic X12, EDI, AS2, Deep Dive into RosettaNet pips, Swift Messaging, Flat File, Delimited, Positional, Processing. Custom protocol support via functions, custom connectors, and inline code. Step-by-step implementation of complex B2B flows, including trading partner management and error recovery. Best practices for high-volume, secure, compliant B2B automation, 2026 edition. This topic is essential for manufacturing, high-tech, banking, supply chain, and any organization exchanging structured documents with global partners. If you find this content valuable, please subscribe to ZoomInData and enable notifications to stay updated. Let us begin. What is RosettaNet and how does Logic Apps support it compared to X12, EDI, RosettaNet is an industry consortium standard for B2B messaging in high-tech and manufacturing supply chains. PIPS equals Partner Interface Processes. Logic Apps supports RosettaNet via integration accounts, store PIP schemas, maps, partners, and agreements. Uses XML-based messages with PIP-specific envelopes. Example, PIP3A4 for order management. Decode, encode XML actions handle processing. Key difference. RosettaNet is more rigid and XML-heavy versus X12, EDI, fixed-width format. How do you implement a RosettaNet PIP3A4, order management, flow in Logic Apps? Trigger. HTTP request or AS2 receive inbound PIP3A4 order create message. Actions. Decode XML. Validate against PIP3A4 schema in integration account. Transform to internal format using Liquid, XSLT map. Route to ERP. Generate PIP3A4 acknowledgement. Encode XML. Send response via AS2. Store trading partner agreement in integration account for validation rules. What is Swift and how can Logic Apps handle Swift messaging? Swift is the global messaging network for financial institutions, banks, brokers. Messages like MT103, payment, Mount 202, cover payment. Logic Apps does not have native Swift connector. Use custom connector or Azure functions to connect to Swift Alliance Access, Lite or third-party Swift service. Workflow, receive mount message. Pass fixed-width format. Transform to XML. Process in ERP. Generate mount response. Send via Swift Gateway. How do you process flat files, delimited, positional, in Logic Apps for B2B? Use flat file decoding action, requires flat file schema in integration account. Schema defines record structure, delimited, commas, tabs, positional, fixed widths. Workflow, receive flat file, FTP, SFTP, blob. Right pointing arrow decode to XML trail ansform. Route to backend. Encoding action converts XML back to flat file for outbound. How do you build a custom protocol handler in Logic Apps for non-standard ED? Use Azure Functions Connector for custom parsing. Example, proprietary fixed width or binary format. Alternative, inline code action for simple parsers, JavaScript, C#. For complex protocols, create custom connector wrapping proprietary API or legacy middleware. Validate, transform, and enrich using built-in data actions. What advanced trading partner management features does Logic Apps provide? Integration account stores partners, qualifiers, values, agreements, protocol settings, validation rules, and certificates. Dynamic routing. Use partner ID from message envelope to look up agreement. Apply correct map. Validation. Supports multiple agreements per partner pair. Different protocols, versions. How do you handle high-volume RosettaNet or Swift flows in Logic Apps? Use standard model for dedicated resources and higher throughput. Enable batching. Decode batched messages. Process individually. Encode batched response. Parallel branches for independent transactions. Monitor throttling and scale hosting plan or add concurrency. What error handling patterns are critical for advanced B2BEDI? Use scopes for each message phase. On failure, generate negative acknowledgement. Example, 997 reject. Dead letter queue, service bus, for malformed messages. Manual review workflow. Compensation logic for partial failures. Reverse committed steps. Alert on repeated failures via Azure Monitor. How do you implement RosettaNet validation and acknowledgement? Validate inbound pip message against schema in integration account. Use generate acknowledgement action to create pip3a4 response. Accept, reject. Send via AS2 or HTTP with digital signature, certificate from integration account. Store all messages for audit, compliance. What is the role of SwiftNet in modern Logic Apps integrations? SwiftNet is the IP-based network replacing legacy X25. Logic Apps connects via third-party Swift service. Example, Alliance Lite 2, for Nastra, using custom connector or functions. Workflow passes mount messages, validates, routes to core banking system. How do you handle flat file transformations with missing or variable fields? Define schema with optional fields and default values. Use liquid maps to handle missing data, conditionals, default expressions. Add validation step. Reject or log if required fields absent. Use compose to build fallback values. What are best practices for secure B2B messaging in Logic Apps? Use AS2 with encryption, signing, and non-repudiation, MDN. Store certificates in integration account with private key protection. Private endpoints and VNet integration for standard model. Managed identities for Azure service calls. How do you test advanced B2BEDI flows? Use sample messages from partner specs, RosettaNet pip samples, Swift mount test messages. Validate decode, encode round trip with original message. Parallel shadow testing with live partner traffic, 10% to new flow. Use Azure load testing for high volume simulation. What cost considerations apply to advanced B2B in Logic Apps? Integration account, fixed monthly, basic, standard, premium based on partner count. High volume ED. Standard model avoids per execution spikes. Monitor connector calls, as2, Swift gateways, batch where possible. How do you migrate legacy RosettaNet, Swift flows to Logic Apps? Export existing schemas, maps from legacy system. Import to integration account. Use decode, transform, encode actions. Replace custom adapters with functions or custom connectors. Parallel run with existing system. Gradual partner cutover. What is the role of Azure API management in advanced B2B? Expose Logic Apps B2B endpoints as APIs for partners. Add rate limiting, subscription keys, and transformation policies. Publish MCP servers for AI agent consumption of ED flows. How do you handle multi-protocol B2B? Example, RosettaNet plus Swift plus flat file. Use dynamic routing, pass envelope, header, condition, route to protocol-specific scope. Central integration account for shared schemas, maps. Separate workflows for each protocol for maintainability. What monitoring is essential for advanced B2BEDI? Track successful, failed messages, acknowledgements, and partner status. Alert on missing 997, CONTRL or negative responses. Use log analytics to correlate message ID across partners. How do you ensure compliance? Example, PCI, Swift CSP, in Logic Apps B2B. Use private endpoints and VNet isolation, standard. Encrypt messages, AS2, and store certificates securely. Enable audit logging of all partner exchanges. Regular penetration testing and compliance attestation. What are common challenges in advanced B2B and how to solve them? Challenge: partner-specific variations. Solution: multiple agreements per partner. Challenge: high-volume batching. Solution: decode batched, process individually. Encode batched response. Challenge: legacy protocol support. Solution: functions, custom connectors as adapters. How has advanced B2B support improved in Logic Apps 2026? Enhanced liquid map performance for complex transformations. Better batch and RosettaNet validation tools. Native Swift message parsing support, preview. Improved integration account backup, restore. Why is advanced B2B knowledge important in interviews? Many enterprises still rely on ED, RosettaNet, Swift. Interviewers ask, how would you implement PIP 3A4? Tests deep understanding of integration accounts, protocols, and compliance. Differentiates candidates for supply chain, manufacturing, and banking roles. What final recommendation would you give for advanced B2B, ED? Start with integration account for partner management. Use standard model for production ED. Test with real partner messages. Never assume schema compliance. Monitor acknowledgements and partner status proactively. Thank you for watching this advanced session on Azure Logic Apps. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to ZoomInData. More advanced Azure Logic Apps content is coming soon. Stay connected and keep learning. See you in the next video.